Hello everybody, I'm Bateswolf and welcome back to another episode of Bloodborne. We have done it at last. Oddities is now dead and we have got the great Izzle's Chalice. I think that's pronounced Izzle's. Excellent, that is fantastic. Oddities is now dead after a good few attempts. Whew, that was quite tense. That was not the cleanest fight we've performed on her. But that really doesn't matter. The thing that does matter is the fact that she's now dead. And I am absolutely over the moon. Now, before we proceed to whatever is over there, I must say, she is probably the boss that we have had the most deaths on so far in the game. We've had quite a few. I think we have reached near double figures, I think, which is quite... I don't know, it's not the best at all. It's certainly not where I aim to be at, considering the amount of experience I've got, but... in the end, we've killed her anyway. And in addition to that, I hope you did like the video that I uploaded yesterday, I believe it was. It's called the Bloodborne short. And it showed one of my deaths to Oddities. And the reason I showed that is because I think it really represents the nature of the Souls games in the way that... I'm trying to gain my breath back, by the way, as well, because my heart is beating, it's racing. It still provides those tense moments. Coming so close to killing her, you know, you're always imagining that you could slip up at any moment, and then all of that progress throughout the fight is lost. So pardon me for that. I'm still, my hands are twitching a little bit. But as I was saying, hopefully you like the video I uploaded the other day. It just showcases the nature of the Souls games. I think the fact that no matter how well you're playing, the victory can be taken from you in a split second. Like, we were playing so well throughout that fight, and all it took was one moment. We had not got hit throughout the entire fight until she grabbed us, and then we was dead. We were killed in a single instant. One move, 1 second of Oddities killed us, and we died. So that's why you can never be too careful with these games. You are never safe at any moments. So, we will go and pop up that. And about that video as well, I know it's not really like a full episode, and maybe some of you was expecting more, but I certainly think it was worth watching because it certainly does showcase the nature of the Souls games that way. You're never really safe. You always have to be on your game, no matter how good you are as a player or how well you are playing at that particular moment. So I thought that was nice to show off, and that pretty much does it. I will take a look at this corner before we progress as well. I think that this is probably used as a strat to kind of cheese the boss. Trap Oddities in here, and then swing at her as she constantly bangs her head down from outside where you're safe. And we did notice that in one of the first couple of fights we had against her, in the episode before the short. I think that's episode 47 now. Yeah, either way, we did kind of notice that, but we didn't really want to take advantage of that. That's why I didn't really pay too much attention to it at the time, because I don't think that would have satisfied me as much as killing her in the quote-unquote normal, legit way, if that makes sense. So I think that pretty much does it for everything I had to say about this boss, except I will reiterate again, it has got one phenomenal design. I absolutely love the design of this boss. It's out of this world. And it was probably the hardest we've fought so far in this game, because of the amount of deaths we've had. And the sheer moveset as well. I want to say this before I progress, by the way. I know I've kind of been jabbering on at the beginning again. That's kind of been my thing. I do want to say it before I go over there, because I don't want some sort of cutscene to activate and then interrupt my entire train of thought. So I will say the few things I've got to say before we go on. Another thing being that I know that fight in the short video was not part of an entire episode, and I was considering scrapping it, but as I said, I thought it was worth uploading. It was a bit of a mini session I was having to record the fight. That's what I was going to say. That short would have actually been the start of this episode, but we died, so I decided to either scrap it or, as I did, upload it in the as a short, because I wanted the nice little intro sitting down at the front and then moving to fight the boss. And I didn't think it was worth starting the episode on another death and then going through the whole repeating process again. So I thought we'd just start off with the win this time, if that makes sense. And I believe this may have been the 4th attempt since the big episode where we had the string of deaths. Like, the short episode was where you was recorded the day after, I believe, the day with all the deaths. So I died once, then did the short episode, and then died again, and then this was the 4th attempt. This was the next fight. So, in addition to the the episode with the big string of deaths, where we discovered that door, which I'll talk about again soon, this was the 4th attempt after that. So I thought it's worth detailing all the deaths, the amount of times I died, if you wanted to tally up how many times I died in that first episode of Oddities compared to the information I've just relayed to you now, saying that I've died 4 times since that moment. It was 1 death, then the short episode death, then another death after that was also scrapped, and now this one, which is the win. Excellent. So, sorry for putting you through that long intro again. I will now move on and see what awaits us over here. And I've got to say, it does look like an amygdala. Certainly this portion here, I'll outline it with the crosshair of the monocular. It looks like an amygdala head. And I'm not sure what's going on here at the front. I think they're just plants like these. So that'll be interesting to see what's going on over here. Let's take a look. We can inspect it. Let's do it. Ooh, offer flesh to altar. Is that the queenly flesh that we've got? Let's take a look at that. It's not in there. It's in our key items. Yeah, queenly flesh. I think that's it. That'll be the thing that we're offering up. So you're telling me you wouldn't only be able to progress through here? Wondrous safe place, but you must accept feasting. Okay, cool. Good to know. That's probably a nice little defensive place for fighting the boss. Unless its arms clip right through the wall, which would be really annoying. Which I presume they do to prevent you from gaining advantage over that. But nice to know anyway. Really interesting boss fight room as well, I will say. I didn't really have much time to pay attention to that due to the fact that we are constantly under pressure from the boss. But it's nice to have a good look afterwards to see what it's made up of. And it looks like there's loads of monuments of people. Maybe looks like they're offering something up to the gods. They all have their arms high raised to the sky as if they're cupping their hands and raising something up. So maybe they're offering to the gods. There's a perfect example over there. Praising of some sort. That's certainly what it looks like to me. Interesting to note. Once again, working into the fact that we believe the celestial beings are viewed as gods. That's a nice little touch. Anyway, and before we do inspect this, I will one last time say I'm sorry for this long intro. It's been about 12.5 minutes already. But there was a few things that I wanted to get off my chest after that fight that I really wanted to detail before I moved on. So, apologies about that, but hopefully you are happy that I've given you the information anyway. So there we go. Let's inspect and offer the flesh to the altar. Time flows in reverse for this scrap of flesh. Okay. Time grows in reverse. So, this is a bit of an assumption. That thing's dead. It looks like... What is it? Maybe it's a big spider. I'm looking at the arms now and thinking it may be a spider. And certainly the eyes as well on the face. But it also does look to represent an amygdala to me. Do nothing. Do nothing. Right, so it actually looks like we cannot progress that way. But it says time grows in reverse for the flesh. So I'm thinking, this is one hell of a theory by the way. We've offered the flesh has become part of that dead beast, and if it's growing in reverse, that would make you think that it's getting younger. Or at least its time is travelling backwards for it, making it possibly revive at some point in the future. That's a really big call, but it could possibly be the case, I don't know. Curious, nonetheless. Yeah, very good indeed. So it looks like we might have to come back to this area in the future, and for now, we shall head back to the Hunter's Dream. Fantastic. Oh, Amy Goodall now dead. I am really happy about that. That boss actually did give us some trouble. I've not really had that from any of the bosses in the game so far, and I think you'll agree with me. Or maybe Legarius. He killed us a couple of times too. A few. So I guess you could say him, but apart from those two, it's all been smooth sailing, I think. Anything more to say?
Welcome home, good hunter. What is it you desire? Good hunter, Farewell, good hunter. May you find your worth in the waking world.
Okay, so she has stood up again. That is one thing that I also did want to note. From the last episode. By the way, when I say last episode, I'm not including the Bloodborne short in that. I will mention that separately if I am referring to that video. So, when I say last episode, I'm talking about the one where we had the string of deaths against Oddities, and the one where we found that mysterious door as we made our way down through the Erden, not the chapel. What's it called? In the cathedral ward, as you'd normally make your way up to the upper cathedral ward when you go down, there's that kind of spiralish kind of descent down the tower. We found the door down there. That's the episode I'm referring to. She was kind of sat down in that solid, like, doll form, even though she is a doll anyway, but that's kind of a side note. You understand what I mean? She was sat down on there again, totally unresponsive. Or at least she was unresponsive when I checked her off camera. But now she's stood back up again, so that's also an interesting note. Yeah, very good. Nice to see her back up, but also interesting as to why she actually sat back down. What did we want from her? We wanted weapons, that was it. Ludwig's Holy Blade, we can finally afford it. That is one that we've wanted to buy for quite a while. I think we've got everything else if I remember. Oh no, we wanted the Blade of Mercy as well. And also Legarius' wheel. We're only a couple of thousand off that. We should save up and buy it, so for now I'll leave it at that. Thank you. And what I shall do while I'm at it is work my way back up round here. Take an inventory again as we're back from the boss. Acquire some items. Let's gain some more bolt paper. We'll take some of that. Thank you, good sir. And then I think we're good. I think we might be good to go back out into the world again. Although, I will say off-camera, I know I'm mentioning off-camera a lot, which is probably scary to viewers on a Let's Play. I will say there was not much that I did off-camera in between last episode and this. The only things I did, and I will tell you exactly what I did in between, off-camera, I had those 4 attempts at the boss, this being the 4th, in fact, the one that we succeeded on, so we had one after the end of last episode where we died, we had one that I recorded and named the Bloodborne short. Then we had one off after that. Those were the 3 deaths. That's it. That's the only attempts I've had. And then we won on this one. So, that was one thing we did. Another thing we did was in between those attempts, we did in fact go out farming a little bit into Yharnam to try and get some more blood vials to stock up on the fight, of course. That was the other thing. And in addition to that, we did take a look at runes. I was just messing around on the tables. I didn't do anything else. I've literally just told you everything I did off camera in between the eps. So seriously, don't worry about that. I'm not one to skip something out so the viewers don't see. That is just not my style at all. And the thing that I did see was that we have got these 3 runes equipped. But I also noticed that we could now equip the Oath Memory. An Oath Memory rune. We did actually acquire one. And I did have that equipped throughout that fight. It's the Hunter rune, and that is in fact the one that we attained from Aline, I believe, after her questline ended. And it says, a carol rune that transcribes in human sounds. This red smudge rune means hunter. and has been adopted by those who have taken the Hunters of Hunters oath. These watchmen admonish those who have become addled with blood, be they men or beasts. Anyone who has threatened the pledges of the Hunter oath surely has an issue with blood. I read that kind of jaggedy. That was kind of not the best way to phrase it. These watchmen admonish those who have become addled with blood, be they men or beasts. Anyone who has threatened the pledges of the Hunter oath surely has an issue with blood. There we go. And that kind of makes sense that we've now unlocked this, is because we did complete Aline's questline, and we know that she was obviously a Hunter of Hunters. If you don't know that already, you've not been paying attention to the series. So we did take up her mantle at the end in that conversation, if you remember. We did kind of agree to kind of take her oath and become a Hunter of Hunter, just like she did. If you remember, she said that it's not for the faint of heart. We took it up anyway. So that makes sense as to us being given this oath memory rune, because we have that oath. And that's really cool because it also gives us stamina recovery speed up, so it's like a Chloranthy ring, if you will, which is very nice. It's always good to have that stamina regen. Lovely. So that was another thing that I did off camera. We did take a look at that rune. And I'm just thinking now if there was anything else. There was a couple of boss fight attempts. There was the farming in Yharnam, and there was taking a look at that rune, which we acquired from Aline. Yes. And we did equip that, of course, as I said. We did have that throughout the fight. As you see there in the right of the screen, we do have that applied to the weapon. Awesome. And that was it. That was seriously it. All we did off camera. Didn't cut anything out apart from obviously a couple more deaths because I didn't know how long it was going to go on for. And that was it. Awesome. Although, oh yeah, I really do want to progress to back down to this door, and I will do that soon. It's just that I also did notice something else while off camera, and it was as I was going to go out farming, I was teleporting to the Tomb of Erden, or at least tried to, because I wanted to get to the nearest possible point where I thought, you know, most of the big guys were, you know, that carry the bricks, because I know they're really crazy for dropping blood vials. So I tried to teleport to the Tomb of Erden, and this happened. Not functioning at this time. So I'm really intrigued to figure out what's going on there. So this time we will go to the Great Bridge and make our way to the tomb and see what the heck's going on there. Because I actually didn't look at this off camera. I wanted to save it for the episode. I have no idea why that lantern isn't working, but it really should be. Because we've been able to teleport to that in the past, and now all of a sudden it's not working. So that'll be really cool to check out. You see, I didn't skip anything. Off camera, I could have gone right up to this and seen what was going on. But no, I decided to wait for you viewers, because I care for you so much. I care for you guys so much. So in the end as well, I did happen to take this route. This was the route I used for farming in the end because it's got quite a few big guys on it. You can kill that one there, and also the werewolves at the end of the road are known for dropping. Ooh, that was close. Are known for dropping a lot of blood vials, as well as running down here, which we will go to make our way to the tomb. And a couple of big guys down here will also drop a lot of blood vials, so that was the route I used for farming. And then I'd make my way up the stairs at the end and go to the right, and then you find the bonfire near Gilbert. So that turned out to be quite an effective route, actually. This probably would have been the best way to go to farm in the end, to be honest, but we actually got lucky in discovering that there was something going on with this lantern. Yeah, you better run. You better run away, big boy. Yeah, he doesn't want any of that. Make our way down. Cape floating all over the place again. Awesome. Right. Let's work our way back up. Probably would have been a better way to come as well in terms of working our way back to this tomb. We could have just gone to the... that should kill him. Yep. We probably should have just gone right into the Erden Chapel and walked back down that way, but it's not really a big deal. We're here anyway now. skip on those guys. They don't really mean much to us. And we'll figure out what the heck's going on up here. Well, that's gas going. Obviously. In fact, there's a couple more. What the heck's going on? This is the tomb, right? Why have we suddenly not been able to teleport here? That doesn't make any sense at all. That makes no sense. We see there is quite a few bodies, so that actually probably wasn't Gascon. We know he exploded in a pile of blood at the end, as all the bosses do. That was just a silly assumption. Okay, I really don't understand it, and I don't want to leave because it feels like there must be something going on for it not to allow us to teleport. Yeah, that's quite the weird one. Does it work if I... Nope. Straight up frozen. What in the world is going on? It doesn't even let me... click. That is really strange, I've got to say. Is that just a glitch that's happening? Or is there something going on that's preventing that from actually working? Anyway, it doesn't look like there's anything special, so we will make our way back up. Hiccup, sorry about that. That was a bit of a hiccup at the same time as me trying to talk, resulting in that high-pitched squeak. So what we will do now that we've checked that out, is move back to making our way back down that tower to get to that mysterious door and see what awaits us in there. Because that looks like the only way that we can progress now. Was that chandelier there earlier? It must have been, right? Yeah. Got to be. Because that looks like the only way we can progress now is through that door. From what I remember, there isn't really any other way that I can go. Maybe there isn't a forgotten, but it really doesn't seem like it. Unless it's the other locked door that we also experienced.
This here is a sight back. If you fuckers in.
Yeah, it's the same dialogue again from that character. Yeah, unless it's the other door that's locked that we can't access, maybe that is the way that we need to go. Possibly. I'm really not too sure. Hard times. Yeah, Ariana is seriously struggling still. So, in fact, let's go and check out the other amygdala. We'll pull this down first, so we don't need to do it when we come back. I'm wondering whether anything's happened to the amygdalas now that I've applied that queenly flesh. Maybe something has happened to them that has changed? No. I'm quite flummoxed, I think it's fair to say. I don't really have too much idea what that's going on. Maybe my theory earlier will in fact prove correct, and that beast over there will be revived, allowing us to... Can we actually jump out that window back there, by the way? Oh, we can. I don't think I've noticed that before. Wait, oh, I was facing the wrong way. It looks like we can really jump out this window. Yes! We're on the rooftops. Oh, wow, what a view. That's phenomenal. I can't believe we've never noticed this before. Ah, new scenery. I'm going to have... Oh, that looks so cool. I'm going to have quite a look around now. Oh, inspecting the environment. It's so gorgeous. The way the entire world ties up together. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. Anyway. Let's make our way down here. I'm really intrigued to see what's going on in this direction. Because We've never even been here. This is actually quite exciting. We're probably going to be crazy over leveled for whatever we fight. Because we haven't ever even been up here before. And it doesn't look like there actually is anything. It's a bit of loot by the looks of it. Let's open the chest. Always hitting it to make sure it's not a mimic. Formless Erden. Okay, so that's another rune. And the Messenger Urn Festival. Oh, that's fantastic. That's really cool. A couple of neat items there that we've discovered. That drop better not kill us, considering that it's a way that you're meant to go to get loot.
I know I shouldn't be asking you, but if you happen upon something, if they seem worth... Oh, and
Nope, nothing more to say there. Cool, so that was a nice little tidbit that we've never discovered before. A new messenger skin that we've got. The ones that look like they play the pots. And the Formless Erden. Another rune. I'm intrigued to check out what that's for. Some more silver bullets, always cool. We'll shoot that guy a couple of times and then jump in and upslash. Kill him off. Pick up those vials. Back in the Healing Church workshop. Let's descend back down the tower of the Healing Church workshop to gain access to that door. And hopefully this time we do not make the tragic mistake of missing the jump. Because that would suck. Right, could that... Oh god, we're gonna have to pull some strats on this one. We are meant to go over there and then jump onto that and then jump onto that, right? That looks like a logical thing to do. Can we sneak? Oh my god. This is not gonna go well, is it? Oh goodness, that is one gnarly jump that we've got to make. You died. Okay, well at least it wasn't too brightest this time, so there's the positive. There's the plus up. Okay, okie dokie. We've got it though. That looks like the way that we might need to go to make that jump, because leaping from the other side where we died on our first attempt looks like we can't quite make it. Maybe if I positioned myself a little bit better we could snatch that, but I'm not too sure if... Oh god damn, that sucks. If we will be able to actually make that. It looks quite the distance. So I'm thinking that one that we just died to is in fact the way where we can make it. Cool. The other door that is also really intriguing me, the locked one that's also in the Cathedral Ward, is... Yeah, that's the one I want to go to. Is also intriguing me because we've still not gained access to that. We've not got a key for it. It just says locked. So you'd assume that there's a key needed and you don't need to access it from the other side, meaning that there's something still out there that we can still use to open it, but we've just not found yet. So hopefully we'll be able to find that soon. Inflicted organ. Beast blood pellet. Large medicinal pellets supposedly formed by coagulated beast blood. Banned by the Healing Church due to their unclear origin. Great spurt. Okay, it's always good to read those. We've looked over all these items before, so it's not really necessary to read them again. But still cool while you're waiting for the game to load. I must say that's really neat how we discovered that. I'm actually quite chuffed that we discovered that little shell. We might as well throw this down in case we die again. And we'll make a beeline for it now. We don't need to fight anymore. Duke City. Drop the shoulder left and he'll follow. And drop down we go. Yet again. Hoping that we won't die this time. Duke City is a real place. And a roll. And a roll and drop. I mean, is that even survivable? Jumping from that one to that one. I really don't know. It seems like a long shot to me. And are we even made to make that jump? Maybe, unless it's bait and you're actually not meant to go that way. So it's kind of baiting you to try that and take a death for it. This is such a... Where would be the best place to jump from? There, maybe? No, I'm thinking it's probably that. Oh, if we was a little bit more to the right, that would have got us. Am I doing this right? Am I doing this right, guys? Oh, goodness, that's another death. We will be going this way. I'm really, really intrigued to see what's behind there. We need to make that. And that's exactly what we'll do. We'll have one more attempt, probably. And then we might try out something else. We'll see. So cool. I'm still loving this game. It's amazing. I seriously love it. It's been an absolute pleasure playing through it. I know it's not over yet, and I'll make more of an appropriate closeout to the series once it's over, but I can feel us getting near the end now, for sure. Just off the amount of time we've been playing it, the way the story's going, character quest lines coming to an end, all that stuff. It all points to the fact that we're really getting close to the end. So I just thought it's worth saying it's been an absolute pleasure playing through such an amazing game with all you guys viewing it. Oh my god! Plunge! Oh. Killed on the fall on the way down. And you know what? I think that'll probably wrap up this episode. That was very, very sloppy. Probably not the best way to go out. But anyway, it's been an action-packed episode once again, I feel. We have finally killed a Brightus, which is phenomenal. I've done my duty and explained what we actually did off camera, checking out a couple of things, like a couple of attempts at a Brightus fight. That would have actually been the start of this episode, but obviously didn't result in that due to the fact that I did end up dying. And in addition, equipping the Aline rune, which is really sweet. And I'm not going to call it the Aline rune. I don't know why I'm calling it that's the Hunter rune. You call things by the proper names, you know. And the fact that the graveyard Earthen Tomb lantern doesn't work for some reason. Really interesting. So those are the few things that we discovered off camera once again, just to remind you. And I believe that is all I want to say before wrapping up this episode. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Once again, it's been a pleasure. I'm rambling again. This is kind of my thing, as you all are probably accustomed to by now. I'm Betawolf. This has been another episode of Bloodborne. Thank you again for all the amazing support on the episodes. I really do hope you've enjoyed it. And I shall see you next time, when we'll finally go to open that door. Goodbye.